Hello and welcome to Our Year with the Ears, our daily vlog where we relive our year living in the Walt Disney World resorts in 2019. Today is day 86.
We spent the first half of today working in our room there at All Star Music. We had several things we were trying to do. First off, we're trying to finish uploading all those YouTube videos we were trying to get done yesterday. Ran out of time in the day, so we're doing those today. And while the computer's working on that, we decided to work on a couple other projects. I had a few more ideas for some shirt designs. I didn't really finish any of them today, but at least I got the ideas out and on paper. So hopefully in the next few days I'll be able to finish those. And then I went and ordered some sample t-shirts from several different companies because I was trying to find a company that we could upload all of our designs to and use like TeePublic or Teespring or one of those, and find one that I was happy with the quality and one that we could just easily offload all of our shirt designs to. I also had some work I had to do today, and Alyssa was helping me with some of that, so we basically spent the entire morning and early afternoon there in the room working.
But today is not all work. We do have some fun things coming this afternoon and evening. So we were heading to Saratoga Springs. On our way, we did stop at our P.O. box there and drop off the prizes that people won on our Facebook Live so that those can be sent out. We don't want to wait too long because it's always fun to get your prize, right? Like you won something. And since we were nearby, we wanted to make sure they got sent. And then we went to Saratoga Springs to go to Riviera. I'll let that sink in for a minute there.
Not confusing at all, at all.
So, to better explain, they had actually set up a model room of Riviera Resort, because it's not open yet, at Saratoga Springs, and they had released a schedule where you could go on and set up a time to come view it. Well, our thing is kind of the resorts, and we really want to see what this new room is going to look like. We were hoping to be able to do a room tour. That was what we were hoping.
Yeah, we were like, hey, they're going to have a model room. Maybe we can just do a tour of the model room, and it'd be really cool. We can do it before December when the resort opens. Now we have opening day reservations when the resort opens, so we can do a real room tour then, but how cool would it be to have it several months in advance like that?
Right. When we got there, we were blown away by the whole event. We thought we would show up, kind of look through this model room, be impressed, okay, awesome, and leave. That is not how this went. When we first got there, we were met by someone playing the violin. They had live music here, which is like the coolest thing ever. As talented as he was, even cooler, they had hors d'oeuvres. And we did not expect to have food here, but you better believe we were quite hungry and ready to enjoy all of them.
I mean, I love the live music too, but free food. I mean, that's...
I know!
Sign me up for some more DVC points if you're going to give me free food. I see what they did there. It's very smart. It worked on me.
So we went into the first room and were met by Miss DVC herself. Of course, she was at the Moonlight Magic event we went to, and now she's here talking about Riviera and this amazing picture that was drawn of her and the new Riviera that's going to come. And she hyped it up and kept talking about it and kept talking about it. And then she showed us this gorgeous drawing that I think her grandchild drew for her.
I'm not sure who her artist she commissioned was, but she should probably get a refund. Maybe it's an abstract artist. Maybe that's what they're going with. Or maybe it's like a modern impressionist or something like that.
Okay, I could see that. Yeah. It actually made everyone laugh because she really did hype this up so much. We thought we were going to see this amazing drawing. And then when she showed us what it was, we just had to laugh and laugh. She was so proud of herself. Then someone from Disney Vacation Club did come in to have that initial meeting, just explaining a little bit about Disney Vacation Club as well as the new Riviera Resort.
Once that group presentation was over, everyone was assigned to a guide to go and check out the room and tour it with their guide. That's when we found out that we really couldn't do a room tour because we're going to be with the guide, and there's a ton of other people going to be touring the room at the exact same time. We're just barely keeping ahead of the group in front of us and the group behind us, so it was not really ideal for us to do a room tour, and that's totally okay. So we went with the guide over to the rooms, and they had a model there of a 2-bedroom lock-off, so you could see what the studio looks like and what the 1-bedroom looks like, and of course together that makes a 2-bedroom lock-off. And we fell in love immediately with these rooms. They are just beautiful. The artwork they have in the rooms is just incredible.
The Aristocats.
They have so many hidden Mickeys and all the little different things in the rooms that we love. All the little touches the Imagineers put in there. It was just perfect. And we were so happy that we were going to be staying at Riviera Resort on opening day later in December, because we booked those rooms for cash through the regular Disney reservation system as soon as they announced the opening date. And I just am loving looking at this room and wishing we could do a tour. And then we got to go back with the guide to the office to sit down and find out how we can add on points at Disney's Riviera Resort. And I'm just like, no, I'm not adding on points. Can we add on some points? I really want to add on points. I'm not adding on points. Not going to happen. Not this time.
When it comes to adding on points, I am the sound mind in the relationship here. And so as much as Robert wanted to, I made it very clear to the guide we would not be adding on points today. Not that I was trying to be unkind in any way, I just didn't want him to feel like he was wasting his time when he could be talking to someone who may actually add on points or even join Disney Vacation Club. I didn't want to take his time from him. Now, he did have to give us part of the presentation anyway. I said, that's fine, I just wanted to be upfront with you, be honest. So he started going through the presentation and kind of gave us just here's a 50-point contract, here's what it would cost. And I'm staring at these numbers. Now, when it comes to Disney Vacation Club, I'm not very good at understanding the numbers and all of that. Robert is the numbers person. He has his spreadsheets, his mind works that way, and I trust him to make those decisions because I don't understand it as well. And that's fine, that's just a weak point for me. But as he's explaining these numbers, I realized that something didn't make sense for me. I had just opened the reservation email when we booked the Riviera Resort, and I remember seeing how much it cost. Now he's telling us that it's about $9,600 for a 50-year contract for 50 points at Riviera. So I open my phone and I'm looking. It was going to cost us $3,200 for 4 nights in December for opening night and the 3 nights following at Riviera. Or we could add on 50 points, still not spend as much by December between the dues and the down payment as we would have with those 4 nights. So, despite what I believed when we walked into the room that we would not be adding on points, we had to open up that conversation because it was the first time that the numbers made sense to me. I think it helped a lot that we weren't talking about a large contract. It was much smaller, so the numbers were smaller, and I could see the difference. We could have 50 points for 50 years for $9,600, or we could end up just paying for the 4 rooms and spend $3,200. And I was like, I mean, that's a no-brainer. It just makes sense. And I promise this is not a Disney Vacation Club pitch. I'm just trying to help you understand better where we were coming from because I was so adamant we were not going to add on that day.
Now, this whole time, I'm just sitting there quietly, letting her realize all these numbers and things that I kind of knew going into it, but letting her kind of think the numbers through for herself because I'm the one that wants to add on. And I'm telling you, as a DVC member, it doesn't matter how many points you have. Add-on-itis is a real problem, and I have a very bad case. I'm telling you, it's probably terminal. It's going to be with me till the day I die. I will always want to add on more points. Every time we go somewhere else, it's like, oh, I really enjoyed Vero Beach. We could add on a contract there. That would be amazing. It's terrible. Time. It really is. So I just let her realize that this was probably a really good idea for us just because we already had those rooms booked and we were going to pay full price at the rack rate anyway. So it really did make a lot of sense. We didn't buy that day. We did get all the information from the guide. We said, okay, we're going to go home. We're going to make sure we fully understand what we're doing here. I'm going to show you a spreadsheet with all the numbers so you know what we're looking at. And then we can make the decision because the bookings for Disney Vacation Club members to book using points don't open up for a few more days. We just want to make sure if we add on, that we add on before that booking window opens so that we can book our rooms with our points and we don't get stuck buying points and not able to get the room that we're trying to get. Now, on the way out of the presentation, there is a little ice cream shop there at Saratoga Springs. If you go sit through the presentation with the guide, you get free ice cream at the end. So not only do we have hors d'oeuvres to start things off, we had ice cream to end it, and I was always happy to go over there and do the tour just to get the free ice cream and then also to entertain adding on points whenever we're there because, you know, it's an addiction. It's a real problem.
After spending much longer at Saratoga Springs than we had originally planned, not that it's a terrible thing, but we just hadn't planned on being there that long, we made our way across the lake over to Disney Springs, not that far since Saratoga Springs is right there, because we have reservations tonight at Jaleo.
Now, Jaleo is a brand new restaurant here at Disney Springs. Only 10 days ago they opened, and we have been waiting to get over here and come eat because the food looks amazing.
It does.
It's Spanish cuisine. They are famous for their paella and their tapas. So we're really excited to go through and try several things on the menu. And we got there for our reservation, said, hey, we're here whenever you guys have a table. And they said, do you want the first available or do you want to wait for a table? And we said, well, what's the first available? Well, they had a bar that's right there next to their open kitchen, and you can see them preparing a lot of the different dishes. And we said, okay, we'll sit at the bar. Like, we'll sit there right in front of the kitchen, get to see them making the stuff, and get seated right now so we don't have to wait for a table. So I'm all about that. I can eat sooner. So let's do that instead. Once we got seated, we asked our server for recommendations because we have no idea. This menu is massive. It's like sitting down to eat at the Cheesecake Factory and you're just looking through this book of a menu, except here the food's actually really, really good. So the server started pointing out some of their classic dishes there in the menu. He mentioned that the paella is obviously one of their signature things. Everyone loves it. It's a popular dish. But we didn't want to get just one big dish. We wanted to try and sample lots of different little tapas tonight, and we'll come back another time to try the paella. That's fine. So we ordered the top 3 things that he recommended for the tapas, and then there was a ribeye steak on the menu that sounded amazing. He was telling us about it, so we decided to order that as our main course, and of course we're going to try and save some room for dessert as well. So he started bringing out the tapas, and the first thing he brought out was the tomato bread. It sounds really simple. It's really just little crostini bread with crushed tomatoes on top, but it is amazing. So delicious. It's got a little bit of sweetness to it with the tomatoes. It's got some olive oil on there, and oh, that was just perfect. Absolutely love the bread.
We actually got to watch them make our tomato bread right there in front of us, which was really cool because, like, hey, that's ours. Let's bring it out. And the next thing we got was the garlic shrimp. And I love shrimp when it's done right. And this was done right. It was so good. And it was a lot more shrimp than I actually thought I was going to get for it being tapas.
Yeah, there was a lot of flavor in that. And I like shrimp too, but I'm not always as big of a fan as Alyssa is. Now, I ordered one other thing that he said was really good, and that was the chicken fritters. They actually came out on a pillow. It's a plate that's shaped like a pillow. It is hard. It's not soft and fuzzy or anything like that. But it's shaped like a pillow, meant to kind of be a callback to Cinderella's pillow with the slipper, I guess. But it has these little chicken fritters on it that look like mini corn dogs, but they are not mini corn dogs. And the server told me when you get these, you can't just pop them in your mouth. You have to take it, break it open, smell it because there's a lot of different spices and seasonings in there, and then eat half of it at a time so you can taste all the flavors. So when it came, I took his advice, and that's exactly what I did. And they were amazing. So far, with all the things we've tried, hands down, this is my favorite. I could eat an entire bag of these. This is just incredible. It's perfect.
He actually kept talking about them. I thought they were good, but I also really liked my shrimp. He seriously kept talking about these fritters. He loved them so much. About this time, a lady was actually seated next to us at the bar, and she was seated by herself. So we just kind of started a conversation as we're waiting for our main entree to come, and she was looking at what to get. And of course, we had several different appetizers in front of us, so she was asking which ones we liked or didn't like so she would know. Well, come to find out, she was actually there for a business trip. She was finding out whether or not they should host an event there. She did order a couple things that were recommended, especially those fritters, because Robert just kept talking about them.
And she's like, okay, I have to try these chicken fritters. I would give you one, but I've already eaten all of mine, so I can't give you one.
And because it was just her, she saw us taking pictures of her food and offered for us to try anything she got, because she can't take it home with her, and she also offered us to take pictures. So we were able to get pictures and taste even more food than we thought we were going to. We were very full. So the first thing we sampled with her was the apple and fennel salad. I wasn't sure about this, but I really appreciated that we got something light after, honestly, we had kind of heavy tapas at this point. And so that was really nice and light and had really good flavor. I actually did really enjoy this.
Yeah, this one was really refreshing. I really liked that. She also got some potatoes that were with this spicy tomato sauce. They were really good. They did have a little bit of heat to them.
They did.
But they were really, really good. And I just love that we made a friend sitting here at the bar, and we were sharing food with this random stranger. We let her try a couple of our things that we had left, and she was letting us try hers, and she's over here taking notes so she knows what they're going to plan when they do their event here. And it was just really cool getting to know her and, of course, just randomly sharing our food and taking pictures of strangers' food, because that's what you do sometimes, I guess.
That's part of the Disney community. We're all friends, right?
Then our steak came out, and we did not realize how big this was going to be because there was no indication on the menu what the size was, but it did say enough for two, so I guess that probably should have been our indication. This was a 45-day aged ribeye. It was huge and it looked amazing. I could not wait to get this and start eating it. It looked so good, and it did not disappoint at all. And we were kind of full already, but I'll make an exception and make a little extra room for this because it's just really good.
We have to try it. I mean, it's fresh, it's right in front of us. We have to try it, of course. And I want to point out too that they actually cut the steak for us. And I really appreciate that because it made it even easier to start eating right away. We didn't have to start cutting it all up and trying to separate it between the two of us. We were able to just eat off the same plate right there. And about the time that our steak showed up, our new friend got her final tapas, which was goat cheese stuffed peppers. And I really wanted to try these because I'm not a fan of peppers, but I do like to try new things. And these were incredible. This was probably my favorite tapas.
This was definitely my second favorite. I still like the chicken fritters better. They were pretty amazing, but these were awesome. I already like goat cheese anyway, but there was just a ton of flavor there. The sauce that they were soaked in and the peppers just added so much flavor. It was amazing. And all this amazing food that we had, we couldn't finish almost any of it. I did finish my first, pillow of chicken fritters, but then she had her extras. I couldn't eat those. There's so much food here. We're gonna have so much leftovers when this is all said and done.
Not that we're complaining about all the leftovers we're gonna have, because this food is amazing, but we will be eating this for days. There's so much food left. For dessert, our friend ordered the flan. We did try it. It was okay. Neither of us are huge fans of flan. It was okay. It wasn't bad by any means, but since we're not fans of flan, we're really bad at being able to say whether it was good or not.
Yeah, like it had flavor, which is more than I can say for some that I've had before. It's just a texture thing for me. I cannot get past the texture of it. I can't do it. Now, we ordered a couple desserts for ourselves as well. I got a cheesecake made with goat cheese, and it was amazing. It came with this raspberry sorbet. It was just perfect. Of course, I had to eat the sorbet because that's going to melt. I can't take that with me. But I was able to take about half of the cheesecake with me, so I didn't have to eat the whole thing. It's a good thing, too, because I was completely full at this point. And Alyssa had to go for the chocolate on the menu, of course. It was a chocolate custard with a caramelized bread, olive oil, and a brioche custard. It was a very fancy looking plate. It looked like a piece of toast on top. It's actually really good. It was sweet and sugary. But oh my goodness, it was so rich. The chocolate and then the custard cut it perfectly. I was really impressed. I let her eat most of it because I was very happy with my cheesecake and very full.
He let me eat most of it.
But I didn't attempt to eat more than just a bite of tasting hers. I'll say it was because of my choice, not because I was fearful for my safety.
My dessert was really amazing. The toast was really weird on top. I'm not gonna lie. I tried it. I was trying to be adventurous. Couldn't get over it, so I just ate the chocolate part. And that part was amazing. I really enjoyed that. If they could just give me like a plate full of that, I would have been thrilled. But it was seriously really good. I really enjoyed it. And a really nice ender to this amazing meal we had.
Now we're so full, we do not want to walk around Disney Springs. We were going to go for a walk when we were done. Like, oh, Disney Springs at night, it's pretty out. We can go for a walk. Not a chance. We are stuffed. So we waddled back to the car and drove all the way back over to All Star Music, and that was the end of our day today. So we will see you tomorrow
for our Year with the Ears.